My name's Jan Godsell and I work at the University of Warwick in WMG. WMG are thinking about how we need to design UK manufacturing supply chains based on the learnings from COVID-19 pandemic. Our supply chains are critical to life, and in some respects they responded really well to the pandemic where we had UK manufacturing capacity. But for things like ventilators, personal protective equipment, hand sanitizer and oxygen, where there was real unprecedented demand and we lacked the capacity in the UK, we found it really difficult to reconfigure our supply chains and respond. So there's 5 lessons to be learnt and 5 things we need to consider going forward. The first of these is we really need to strategically think about what's critical to life and therefore what we need to make in the UK. And this needs to be supported by the right manufacturing capability to produce the equipment, to produce those products, not just the products themselves. The second thing we need to consider is how do we invest in critical infrastructure, particularly around low energy production and connectivity, so that we can support the UK to be part of manufacturing of the future. The third area that we need to consider is how we actually get better at supporting the principles of a more circular economy, how we can keep things in their highest possible value state as long as possible so that we're not dependent on mining resources out the ground. Essentially, we can mine resources from what's already in circulation, so we need to get better at repairing and refurbishing and thinking about the different business models that support this. The fourth thing we need to do is to actually think about supply chain design proactively. It doesn't happen by chance, and if we want to make the UK the heart of this network of global manufacturing supply chains, if we want to make the UK resilient to future shocks, we need to actually design our supply chains to support that. And last but not least, what that means is we need to invest in skills. And those skills are fundamentally about making sure that we have a really good understanding of manufacturing and supply chain strategy, but also that we upskill accordingly to support new digital technologies and slightly different ways of working. My name's Jan Godsell and I work at the University of Warwick.